Hey fellas, I have Makita rotary hammer gears, a really common model on construction sites, a DHR202, and this one have a leak power, and you can see that the battery is good, and that means you need to check the electric part of this tool, and of course I will start from the carbon brushes. And I cannot get into it, and I see that it's a little bit melted, and a slot for the screwdriver is just a little bit damaged, and I can remove the carbon holder from the other side, I think, and I hope. Oh, cannot remove it, and that means I have only the one way. It's to open this housing and open the handle. Removing the side handle, and now I need to unscrew the old screws here. The battery holder. And trying to open the handle and the motor housing. Yep. Now I can take out the armature. Of course, it's not so easy. Yep. And I can follow the carbon brush piece. The motor looks damaged here. And here, I think. You need to check how this transistor is. Now it's good. Part of the carbon brush holder unit, and we can see that the carbon brush is just moving here, and I think it's not a genuine carbon brushes. I think in here this tool was in a service in one guy hands, and I need to check it. Cannot unscrew it. Do that. I will try to, and maybe it's a broken, yeah, it's a broken carbon brush here, but I cannot open it, and I think I will replace it. Yeah, just remember the black one was on the top and the red one was on the bottom. And I will try to unscrew it on the wires. Nope. Open it one. And you can see that it's melted here, the plastic is melted, so we need to change the carbon brush holder unit. the big question is our armature. And the cap is damaged too. Remove the field. The field must be magnetic on both sides. Now it's magnetic, that's good. And the armature really looks bad. It got heat here, and if you want to run it good, I think we need to replace it. Okay, now the armature is not going out. I will push it later from the other side. Just we'll heat it to go right back. Now it's not going back. Yep. And why I did that, I don't know. I will open the tool holder. Just doing that with a screwdriver. Now the spring ring. Pushing it out with a screwdriver too. Removing the cap, the washer. There goes the ball. The second washer. Spring. Now what I want to do is to put the switch to the drilling mode. And yeah, now I'm not able to do that, and that's because I tried to put the to take the armature out. I need to do that. Maybe I will break it, but I need to do that because I need to push the switch, this one red button down, and spin the switch. Now pushing it down, and I'll try to put it here like that, and now it will go up. You can see that the red button is pushed in. And trying to push this one out. Normally it goes easy. Yep, got it out. So our mode switch is out. Of course later we need to wash all these parts. Here, electric parts, and now we are pressing out all the parts here, and one of the part here we have the bearing inside. And I will try to unscrew this plate and take out the bearing with a screwdriver or something similar. This is our plate. We will wash it and then check if it's good or not. And our bearing is still there. Yeah, I can see that it's spinning, it's good, but I want to remove it to check it, if it's wobbling or not. Now it's not going out. I will try to take it out when I will wash the part. Yep. Now it's our cylinder. Pushing the hammer down to take out the striker, and of course what we can see that the O-ring is worn out, and it's normal for this tool because this one was working really a lot, and we can see the bump on the striker, and it's a good idea to change it. Yep. We have some parts inside here. I will try to remove them without the special tools. And you can see the spring ring inside here. Spring here, and it's on other hole here. You can try to push it down, and sometimes it goes easy, sometimes not. Washer, and I have the spring ring here, really tiny spring ring, and I need to lift it with a screwdriver. And of course be careful because it can pop out just sometimes really strong. And you can see I can press the washer down and it will be easier to remove the ring. I will do that. Yep, now I'm pressing the washer down and taking the ring with my fingers. Now I will do the same with the other side, if I will be able to do that. And yeah, my fingers is not so strong. Yep, I got it. It's a really tiny spring ring. The washer, the spring to hold the clutch gear, and this is the clutch. What we need to check is the gear here, and we can see the damage, small damage here, and now it's good, you can use it. And of course we must see the same damage here on the tool holder. We can see that the corner is a little bit rounded. Focus, you fuck. Yeah, it can run still. Of course the clutch will be a little bit weak if you compare with the new one, but this part is really expensive and most of the time it's not worth to replace. Yep, now our spring ring inside, and I think I will hammer it down. Yep, what we have now here, we have this wash bearing, we have the gears, the spring of course, the aluminum cylinder, and our armature. Yep. Now I want to remove this small holder, so you can see that the holder is really small, but of course we need to wash it. The flat washer, the spring, and we have the other ring holding our spring in the washer. And I'll try to remove it carefully because it can just pop out. It's all tension. It's a spring down there. Yep. Got it with all the spring and the, yep, the spring and the ring here. And now we can take the gear out. You can check the corners. It's good. And yep, it's a hold plate, and this one was in a groove here. Just removing them. It's a big part of the clutch, and you can check the corners here of the teeth, and they are always round a little bit, and that's good. What we have now, we have the washer here. Normally it's on a tool holder, on a cylinder, right here. And now we want to remove the swash bearing and the cylinder. Of course, you can check if the swash bearing is wobbling or not here by holding it, and it's not wobbling. That's very good sign for us, because it's an expensive part too. And now we can try it and screw the screws here. Yep. Screw, and they're Loctited or glue it with some other 3D glue. Now it's time to remove this one, and yeah. And we have the, I don't know, some kind of the metal washer here. We have the ball bearing, and we can check if it's wobbling or not. It's not wobbling, it's good. We have the gear, and we have the swash bearing. Just check it. It's a little bit wobbling, but it's really normal for this tool. Sometimes you can find the grooves here on the assy, and the tool works a little bit noisy. Now we can see small grooves. I don't know if the camera can focus them here and here. Yeah, you can see that here and here. That's really not a problem for us. The cylinder, aluminum cylinder, and it must be clean and without scratches, especially inside. Just pressing out the pin, and don't forgetting that we have two washers here and here. Yep, and now what is left is our armature and the base. Can remove the sealing ring here. Yep, and I will try to just take it out. I'm not able to do that, and you can do a couple of ways. You can hit the housing, aluminum housing. You can put it in a vise, or you can just hold it like that. Put some kind of puncher. You can use that screwdriver if you want. Just get it to the gear and punch it with a hammer. Yep, it's out. It's an easy, safe way. Of course, trying damage the gear, as I will change the armature. Doesn't care for me. Yep, and we have the armature. The new armature comes with a ball bearing, with a winding, with a fan, sorry, and with a second ball bearing. So you just don't need it. And of course, it's a housing which we need to clean. Yeah, we have the oil seal here, and most of the time it's good, but of course you can change it. You can see that it's no leaking here, so that means it's good. And it's time for assembly. I will start from the cylinder or the tool holder, and we have the parts inside it. Normally it's a hammer, the washer, then goes the rubber, the second washer, and this one have O-ring inside it. The O-ring is here. I'm just taking it out with a screwdriver and changing it with a new one. Just pressing it in and making sure that it's inside a groove. Then we can put the part together, and we have the hammer parts here, which we need to put into the cylinder. Before that, I will put some grease here. And just pressing everything in with my finger. Now this grease. Yep. We have the spring ring here, which need to be put into the groove here in a tool holder. We have the groove here, and it goes all around. You can press it with an aluminum cylinder if you have one, spare one, because sometimes it's just got smashed. Or you can push it down with the pliers or something similar. Now we can try to push it down with a screwdriver. I got it nicely and gently in. The grease came out. And we can try to check if the spring ring is inside the groove. Yeah, you can see that it's now here inside the groove. Of course, the other side. Yep, it's in a groove too. You can try to push it down. It's not going down. And we have the cylinder assembled almost. Now we need to put some gears here, and goes the clutch gear, then goes the spring, then the washer, and I will replace this spring ring. It just got a little bit flat here. I don't know if you can see on a camera or not. You can try to compare them, but it's really hard to see. Just pushing it with the fingers, and now it's a couple of ways to do that. You can press the spring down and then push the rings. You can see that you can press the spring with the fingers. I just tried to do that and made that for one side, and I think I will make it for the other side. Or now we have the hole here, and we can try to put a screwdriver here to push the parts down. Maybe a little big. And this is a harder way. We have the easier way. can use something like this and just put it on a spring ring. And press it down. Check, press it or not. Press it, but not very good. Yep, now it's good. And I think this is the best way to do that. And you can see the spring ring is here on the groove. The spring is compressed now. You cannot press it easily down. This one is not spinning because it's a clutch mechanism. And yeah, our cylinder is good now. Next part, we have aluminum casing, or the aluminum hammer casing, I think it's called. So yeah, where's our wash bearing? We have this wash bearing here. I will put some grease here. And it's time for our aluminum cylinder. I will put some grease here because I need to put 2 washers and the grease will hold them in place. Yep. Our pin. Just make sure the washers is left on the sides of the aluminum cylinder. Yep. And now we need to put the wash bearing assay into this pin, as we can see. And for that, try to show it. Just putting it in and getting everything down into the aluminum housing. Now we have 2 holes, we need to align them. Now we will need the hex the hex bit or the Allen key. Just putting it on, taking that tweet screw, the glue color may do a bit different because of other manufacturer, and we're screwing the screw here. Not tighten it now all the way. Glue on the second one. Now tighten it good. Both screws. Yep. You can see we have a nice part, and this one is moving now. That's a good sign for us. Just closing the glue. Yeah, it's time for the striker. And for the O-ring of the striker, you can see the groove here and the O-ring must be here. I will just grease it a little bit. Yep. And I will put some grease inside the aluminum cylinder. And pressing everything down. Now the fat O-ring, it goes here and the groove here in the housing. And now we will try to assemble our second clutch mechanism. Now I need to remember how it goes here. I think this one goes like that, and just taking out up the aluminum cylinder, matching the gears of the clutch. Yeah, and it all goes down. You can see how it looks now. We can see that the plate's in a groove here. This one is here underneath the aluminum cylinder. Then we can put a gear here. We have the fat spring and the circlip. Maybe my pliers can deal with this one. No, so I will use the screwdriver. Just stretching it with a screwdriver and trying to put it in, and now I'll be able to do that with the pliers, I think. Nope. Just taking the biggest screwdriver. And always beware, because the spring can pop out and the circlip can go to ice. And the biggest screwdriver. And yep, I think I got it. And now you can see that the spring is here and our circlip is here. It holds the spring, it can move around. Here you can see it's a big groove for our circlip. Yep, we have it here. Now it's time to put the spring here, and this spring goes like this. It's a spring, and then goes the flat washer, and circlip. And I hate this circlip because often I lose it when releasing the spring. So I will try to hold the washer and the spring with my finger and press that circlip down, just holding it with the same finger, and trying to press it down. Like always, no luck from the first time. Cannot get it here. And yep, I'm almost always struggling on this part. It's here now, and it's fucking hard to nail. Yep, you can see that I was holding this flat washer, yep, with my finger, and then it's easier to put the circlip. Yep, now it's good, we have it. Yep. What's next? Next, don't forget the washer, and of course we need to put some grease here inside the hammering mechanism of the tool holder, and I will put some grease here. And now I'm taking the cylinder here, matching the gears, and we can see that when I spin the cylinder, all the parts is moving. Of course, they must move gently. Now it's our time for this part. I don't know how it calls, and we need to put it inside a hammer casing. You can see how I put it, and it must be screwed with 2 screws. I'll try to do that with a screwdriver. With no luck. Maybe, yeah, I'll try to do that. Nope. And where's the magnetic bit when I need it? Okay. Yep, I got it one in. And I can try to get the second one. Or now I think that I can put them inside with the plier and just put it in the hole here. Nope, still nope. Okay, my hand is shaking a little bit, I don't know why. Yep, got it here. And yep, it looks good now. And now it's time to put the grease here. Yep, I will put grease all around the parts. And I will put some grease here underneath the aluminum cylinder. If you will ask about the grams, how much I put it, I don't know, honestly. Yep. And it's time to close it. Yep, you can see that the housing is here. And now it's our time of the switch. Just putting it here, pressing it down, and it's inside. Did you get it? Yep. Now this part is good, and we can try to assemble the tool holder itself. For that we will use the spring. You can see that the smaller part goes down, then goes the washer with the groove. The groove goes on the tool holder flat side, and here goes the ball. Then I think go the flat washer, then go the plastic cover, the spring ring, which can be placed with a screwdriver. And you can see that the new spring ring, you have the flat side, the old one is all round. Both are good. Yep. The cap, just pressing it on the cylinder, and we have half of a hammer. Now it's our time for the motor housing, I think. And yeah, we have the switch now, and we need to find out where the parts must be. I think this one goes here, here, and here. The LED light, it's a grooves for LED light wires. I will just press it in the screwdriver. Show the grooves here. You can see how the wires going here. Yep, now I have the switch. We have this one. It's sad that I forgot to order it to replace it. Of course, it's not a really important part, but still, it would be nice to replace it. Now we have the place here to put the mode selector of the switch, this round pin, and just putting it in. I'm often losing it. Now we have the plate, and the plate goes here. The wires, we have position switch. See that it's our position, and now it's a good time to screw the terminals. And if I could remember, the black one was on the top. I hope so. And I can check how it goes now here. Nope. If I wanted to go here, and it must be here. Let's check if it's good now. I need to put the carbon holder wire here. Yep. And now I will screw them with two screws. If I still have them, I hope I have them. And I will check for the wiring, but I think, okay, I will not check. If something will be bad, I will just reassemble it, and that's all. Yep, so the red one was here on the bottom. And the red one, like always, boost the switch for the position. Just getting in that pin. not got the switch in place correctly. Now it's in. Now goes our black wire. Yep, tighten it. Just making sure the wires goes here nicely. I have the washer. This one is here. And we can check for the housing here and the rubber. Got the rubber here. Can check everything looks good or not. Yep, it looks good. So that can mean only one thing. We can put a field and the armature. For the armature, I will put it in my hand, just putting it in, checking how it spins, and yep, it spins easily. Now for the field, we have the groove here, and we can find the same groove here. You can see that the groove is on the front and the bottom, and you can put it like that and the field will not spin around. Just taking now I will not put it to the end because I want to close the motor housing now, and I will check if I have the switch inserted correctly or not. Yep, the mode selector is working now, and if you are doing everything right, the housing must be closed. Yep, it's almost closed now. I think what is bad for us, I have moved the field, and yep, I have spun it a little bit. Oh, I am putting it down, and I'm closing the motor housing. You can see that there's no gaps here. I can put the rubber, the battery terminal housing. I'm just closing it. I will screw the screws here. Now I will try to put the armature inside, and it goes perfectly. We have the 4 screws here on the front, which we need to screw in. Now it's time for the carbon brushes and the caps. The big screwdriver, and don't tighten it very hard, it's only plastic. The rubber covers. The tool now is almost completed, assembled. Of course, the handle, the screw going to the handle, and tighten the handle. Now it would be good to find the battery to test it. Found the battery. Yep, I connected the wires good. It's front direction, and the front, it hammers, it drills, hammer, and yeah, that's good. So we have the working hammer drill.